sitting here craving you. I love the way you move. I miss the way you miss me. I need the way you kiss me. Oh, who knows what I'll do if I can't be with you. I lose myself in your eyes, girl. You light up my dark nights. So I'm sitting here craving you.
Hey, Kemo, how are you feeling after that loss? Oof. Pretty shite, mate. You know, there's always like, you can like tell beforehand what's gonna happen, and I was kind of like just hoping that the pure fact Jake's so much better than everyone that he would just carry to infinity. Like, I was already in that mindset before going into it. I felt all shit. Felt shit all day at Rocket League, and it carried into that series, yeah. I know. Wait. Let me look at something real quick. Might possibly have to say hello to someone in a bit, but that's won't take that long. Not sure when though. Right, these off-brand chips suck. Yikes. What I was gonna do is perhaps look at a series. It's not really started yet though, so maybe not yet. Not quite yet. Gonna come back in a bit. Alright, see you in a bit. See you, came out. I'm gonna have to say hello.
sitting here craving you. I love the way you move. I'll miss the way you miss me. I need the way you kiss me. Oh, who knows what I'll do if I can't be with you. I lose myself in your eyes, girl. You light up my dark nights.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
sitting here craving you.
Consistent 2 streams a day streamer. I know, right? Although the one earlier got interrupted. Hey Khaled, how you doing? Don't worry, screaming you guys. He doesn't have a team, from what I know. Wait, what? Yeah, his team with Allah and Killer wasn't a team. It was just a temporary thing.
I'm sitting here craving you. I love the way you move. I'll miss the way you miss me. I need the way you kiss me. Oh, who knows what I'll do if I can't be with you. I lose myself.
I don't have a team. Yeah,
Eyes, girl, you light up my dark.
it was ever a team. Exactly. There's like an Allah, you're not Killer. There's like an Allah. Yeah, I quit the game, yeah. Are there any Rocket League series going on right now? Supposedly G2 versus Rogue in a bit. Is it Peeps or just Frontline right now? Because I don't want to watch that.
Baby, are you with me? Are you staying?
Psionics versus version 1.
Baby,
Oh yeah, true.
frustration, my brain is so
I don't think I want to watch that.
lately I've been on the move. Yeah, hunting for that money.
Version 1 should clap? I don't agree. I don't agree. Well, let's play this song, it's a pretty funny one. I think this could be a pretty close series. Just on the general. I've been calling Sonic's the 6th best NA team, but I did forget about the version 1, I won't lie. So it's one of them, I guess. Kansas is also in contention, but I think Sonic's is a little bit better than Kansas, I won't lie. Sonic's had like 2 good grids. I feel like they've beaten all the other teams. I don't know if they've ever played version 1 though. Let me check actually. Let me check that. Look at this. Don't look at that. So they beat Drip, that's nothing. Exa and Jabal Jaber, that's decent. First version 1. Right. So purely from this. Frontline's not, I don't think they're that good, even though they're kind of popping up right now. The Ferris are kind of the same level as Frontline, I feel like. purely from this, I feel like Sonic's results are more impressive, but let's look at the grid. What did version 1 do? They beat Envy here. So they had a good grid here, almost beat SSG. It's quite impressive. Sonic's beat or NRG was quite mad. And they beat Exa, okay. 2 Alpine, impressive results, plot twist, whatever. Loses to Rogue. Version 1, beat PK, lose to G2, lose to Alpine. Interesting. Version 1, where are they? Oh. Lose to Kansas, lose to E United. Yeah, I feel like based on pure recent results, I'd put Sonic's right just above them. And then version 1 and then Kansas is how I'd see it personally. And then Alpine after that. Yeah, that's kinda how I see it. SSG swept G2? Yeah, I know. Jeez. Slumped that day though? Maybe they slumped because of the fact they played against Sonics. The peeps aren't bad, but I actually forgot about peeps. Ugh. I don't know where to put the peeps, they're all over the place. Let's see how the peeps do here. How are they doing? Okay, I'd have to put them. I think I'd have to put the peeps above Sonics. Yeah, I'd have to put Sonics as the 6th theme, to be honest. I feel like I don't think so. Peeps here as well, absolutely popped off. Yeah, I'd put the peeps as the 6th team. Maybe, but still I rate version 1 more. Yeah, it's close, so that's fair. Tomorrow I'm gonna play with a friend who's C2, so I can play against C2 CA. Aren't you C2 though? I don't get it. Let's watch this, because it can be close. This could be quite close. This is a curious series.
I thought we were gonna see this goal, but actually on the side of Sonics, maybe you remember Statue got a little bit of a weaker hit, but now it's AXB with a.
Is that about the right sound? Is that about the right volume?
Where the break-in defense happened, it seemed like the third man just got a little bit too pushed up.
Tomorrow I'm going to play ranked. Cool story, bro. Isn't that a normal thing?
See, there's the mechanics I was talking about, man. He is deadly when you give him the chance.
But still, it was AXB that got in the way and got the block and has the goal. So we were talking about those
So he's a better
moves.
pickup. Just because.
Yeah, well, it's a little early to tell, but AXB certainly earning his dinner so far in game 1.
Yeah. I mean, I'm paying attention to Shock, though. I think the two players that I really want to pay attention here are not the new pickups, because they're going to have a lot on their plate to worry about just fitting into the rotation. But I think it's up to Shock and Gimmick. These two players have such an impact when they're playing on.
For once.
At least been a little bit warmed up for the day.
Me and Derp, I'm pretty sure you've played a lot more 2s than you've played 1s this season.
We haven't seen him be as dominant as he was in season 9, so I'm looking forward to see if he starts to pick things up and doesn't let J take all the spotlight.
Shock, he was a player who's coming in, I believe it was his first season ever, almost gets MVP.
I think I have 150, 50, 40, 50, 54 I mean, games in 2s. With solo queuing. I literally just never queue with anyone. Probably should, I don't know. Ranked is a bit boring though, so. Or not really, not boring, but it's a bit weird to play with a teammate, I've always found. Ranked do be kinda weird, you know? Supposedly. I mean, probably not Derp.
zone, starving out the boost with booming clears, not too worried, just holding this lead. They've got 53 seconds
Another
left.
day,
It's
it
the
can just
first
go the
game.
other way.
Just need to be patient at this point.
Just how solo queue is.
AXB up, Torment, or AXB rather, was trying to come in and help Gimmick out, but Gimmick wanted to keep the ball to himself. Pass out to Sathu. Sathu gets the 50. Gimmick on the goal line does well to keep that one out. He was hammering the boost to get that ball to safety.
He did get one bad teammate twice in a row.
One
Congrats.
demo for another one on the goal line. 2 demos. And I don't know how that didn't go in.
Gimmick was the last man back. He had to dodge the demo. And both his
You
teammates
can tell
were
if someone's not used to solo queuing. They get like one good solo queue session and are like, yeah, I like solo queue, and then the next session they'll be like, never mind, I hate solo queue. That is quite funny.
But with 7 seconds left, they finally break through.
How is this a goal, by the way?
Look at the recovery on the wall.
What a
as well. Get that
save.
ball forward, landed on the sidewall, and then
I still hate solo
3
queue.
flips to the ball, getting a strong hit.
It's
These
quite
guys with 7
contradicting.
seconds left, James, you're right. I mean, this is crazy. I didn't expect them at all. With
Or not
no
hate,
pressure
but-
whatsoever the entire game, they bounced back in the final seconds.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Now we've got overtime, Turtle.
Sathu's gonna score the OT goal. Trust me.
Both teams sitting at 1 and 2.
Doesn't mean I don't need it.
An elimination series.
I don't think that really applies to what you said earlier.
They are in these players' minds.
Steam? Well, you didn't say you were playing on Steam.
Awkward ball. This one going to bounce off the ceiling and high. Shocks up. Torment gets
I mean,
a piece of it. J-Russ waiting
why are
for
you
the hit.
playing with
Does
C2s
come
then?
back out. Gimmick
Can't you just solo queue in Diamond?
goes for the 50. It's
What's the
popping
issue
way
there?
up. Sathu and J-Russ both commit. Both miss. Gimmick.
He's
staying
got a
with
lot
it
of
in the
boosts,
air.
doesn't he?
What is happening? The air dribble across a double commit. That's the third
Like,
one we've seen.
the fact
out
you
of,
solo queued isn't the
everybody
reason why you
else.
ranked up there.
Crumbling.
If that makes
Look at their
sense.
rotations. It feels like the last man back just has no chance. No
Like that's the
boost
way
to
you
recover.
worded it earlier.
Low boost. Oh, J-Russ did get the corner finally. J-Russ challenging Gimmick again. Gimmick wins that. Shock will have to do well here. Gimmick beats it past him. Sathu, awkward jump. Fortunately for him, no one was coming across. Sathu making the right decision there with space. He misses the boost in the corner, though. See if that haunts him. Tough read. Sathu gets enough of it to get it out of harm's way, but version 1 has been doing so well on the attack, but the miss there.
Interesting.
will clear to the side. J-Russ, another tap to the corner, sticks with it.
But I mostly queue ones.
Double commit from version
I
1.
mostly solo queue
Bounce out to
ones.
the middle, Shock centers, Sathu's there.
Okay.
Sathu's shot wide. Shock centers it. J-Russ, this shot, it's saved. The bump, it doesn't go in. Version 1 survive.
Oh yikes.
Shot after shot, these boys are getting warmed up. Sonics, that was the first good look we've seen from them besides that almost buzzer beater goal. And here we are with a little bit of offense. What was that?
How many
5 or
months?
6 shots back to back,
Yeah, I've not
not
played
a
ranked with
single
anyone
goal.
in a while as well.
Shock could have gone for the shot there. Opted
Actually,
to go for the pass. Someone
I
getting
did.
bumped. Version 1 by the
I do
skin of their
ranked.
teeth, kept that ball out of the net.
Hey, Russ.
Sathu going for a 50, bounces back to Shock. Sathu will have to get out. 0 boost for him. J-Russ on the wall, going for a double tap off the ceiling, going for a triple, but he couldn't get to it in time.
You can still see the threat of that man. That's what
Gonna
I'm
be-
talking about.
gonna
Once
be
you
a
start
fun
fitting into rotation a little
experience.
bit better, J-Russ will be deadly. He
Well,
has the striking
let's hope
capability
so.
that Shock had even last season. He's died down a little bit, but J-Russ is here to fill that spot.
Ooh, even that read was very difficult. J-Russ preventing the backboard bounce. Now another backboard bounce. Double commit. J-Russ hits it right down to AXB. AXB to the left. Gimmick goes towards net. Shock pops it up to Sathu. Finding J-Russ in the middle. Torment getting in the way. AXB will take over. Slow plays it. Shock off the ceiling. Going for the double. Takes
No
the
way.
shot.
Almost.
Doesn't get the goal, but he bought a lot of time. And
Yikes.
AXB underneath Sathu, version 1. They survive the onslaught and get the win.
I'm going to his perspective. Look at that slight touch. AXB, you think he's going to hit it to the corner, and that's why the defender kind of went high
Version
on that
one.
challenge. But instead, it was AXB to find an angle on net. He just needed to barely, slightly touch that ball in. and it just gets boomed to the back of the net. That was such a crazy first game. Normally we get first games, James, and it's really calm. You know, teams are trying to feel each other out, figure out the play styles that they're going for. But this was just an all-out shootout, man.
I was thinking version 1 was going to lose. As soon as that 7-second goal went in, I thought that the Sonics were going to get it. Even in overtime, multiple shots coming in over and over, I thought that the Sonics were going to score and get that final goal in overtime, but no, version 1 held strong.
Hi, Boo Boo. Hey, come out.
Was the star in this game. You have to give it to him.
I'm watching Sonics versus version 1.
Very good defensive stops, even the one where both of his teammates were demoed, but AXB, to me, put them over the top.
Yeah.
So version 1, you know, they're thinking they're lucky stars for that game 1 win.
And they definitely had opportunities, though. I mean, Sonics, I feel like if they just cleaned up that defense, there were a couple of double commits on the other side of the net, even where both players would go for a shot, and then even on the defensive side, we get 2 players going for the same clear.
No, come on, it's funny how we feel. Yeah, you feel so shit about just playing that in a scrim, right?
On version
1. And I guess this case especially because of the ranks and whatnot, right? So technically we probably should have dominated. And then you think like, I wonder how Smilla feels when he loses. Like that's just times 20 million. Like plays at the grid series, loses in game 5. I don't care about the ranks, we're just not happy with the performance. I mean, yeah.
Even J-Russ in the corner, he kind of
It's just
that ball through, something would come out of it, and it would sap you.
I guess I don't like being expected to win. I like the teams being like kind of close in terms of like expected to win. About rank in it, playstyle tendencies. I mean, yeah, but still. Interesting how that went in. Hoggers though.
Going for the boost steal, that gave the space to J-Russ, and then the missed challenge.
Oof.
And even that boost steal from Gimmick
Sucks to be a pro, yeah, it probably does, mate. I feel like if you're a pro, the only time you can be happy is when you're literally first. Because like, when you're first, constantly, you can't improve from your previous performance. You can only do the same, which is kind of good enough. So if you're a certain team, obviously the happiest you can get is when you absolutely outperform what you were expected to do, right? So you're expected to finish last, blah blah blah, you get first. Then next tournament, if you then get last, then you'll be like very depressed, even though you kind of would have expected it last time. But because of the fact they finished first, that kind of changes what you would expect of yourself. I'm happy to DSM, KW.
They were getting many more opportunities. Version 1 was able to bring it back. Now in game
If we lose the way we wanted to play, we were just kind of trying to get used to each other. And it was irritating because I feel like we couldn't actually focus on what we were doing. Because... Torment what? Because we couldn't get our minds straight, if that makes sense.
And what is that angle off the corner? Oh, how do you even plan that? Torment just hit it into the corner and still boosted.
You guys could go for way too many demos. I don't know about the other two. I think I didn't go for enough demos this series. I did not go for enough demos this series. I just always like went back, even though I probably could have demoed a lot more before going back. I think when I played, or you know, BDiE with Chinny and Kemo, the demos really worked. But in this series, I felt like I just never demoed.
Trying to do everything he can because he knows he's not the mechanical player on the team, so filling in those roles of physical plays and even boost stealing is so important for a player like
Yeah, I think you guys demoed a lot more than us, to be honest.
And it's just
and more unnecessary ones too. But whatever, we move. We move.
lollygagging in the midfield. Turns right as Sathew's about to take the shot. You saw him half flip back, Turtle. He knew he was in trouble.
And I think that speaks to the speed you were talking about earlier, where Sonics have that pace. You know, in that instance, you don't even think Sathew's going to go for it, but because these guys have much more pace behind them, he can go for it.
I felt like because it was the first time playing with this roster, I saw myself looking around more and just focusing on my play that I'm about to make. For me, I just felt a bit awkward, to be honest.
Make a few mistouches here and there on defense, but I feel his consistency has improved greatly.
Oh yeah, I mean, before it felt like he was kind of a control player, a guy who would set the pace with his dribbles. He didn't really have that much presence in the air, but now
I could always get like slight moments of confidence, but it wouldn't last for long, if that makes sense.
Popping off. This is the season 9 shock we want.
And Sathew, he just gets to watch bird's eye view of Shock putting this one in.
You guys aren't seeing how the game. Nah. Sonics Brazil? Question mark.
It's about as one-sided as it gets, Turtle.
I mean, this is what I was talking about, man. I look at the grid, the results. Okay, I personally expected Sonics to come out here and take this win. They seem a bit
You're
more
going on
consistent.
record, huh?
I have to go on record.
Brazilian.
Are the
I have
favorite.
to go on record.
True.
Okay, so you're gonna put this spotlight on me like that as soon as I mention Osceola.
You just said
That was
it.
the moons.
You can't be.
Yeah, I know.
I can
Restated what
say
you just said.
something and be sneaky.
Get to
about
any of
it.
your
I
skill
can't
levels.
be put in the spotlight like that.
If you put in the time and perhaps the efficiency as well, then you would get there, mate. Anyone can.
Version 1 in
Yep.
game 2, even game 1 almost had it. It took heroic stands on the defensive line to preserve that game 1 for version 1.
You're good at what you do.
They're gonna need another goal.
I feel like that's
AXP
more
got, you think back to
of a
game
roast
1. To win in that overtime, he had to get a
than
crazy
anything
fake.
else, derp.
And that's one of those goals that you don't come by often. So for version 1, they've got to do more
I just
work on the
ate
offense
like
to set up some easier shots.
12
And
Oreos.
there was a chance for Gimmick to
No,
put
it's
one in
true.
off the backboard.
Uh,
That infield pass to
eating when
Gimmick.
you're sad.
Thanks
That's
by
dangerous, mate.
Sathew. And that's a good way to build back some confidence if you're version 1.
Oh yeah, a quality goal.
It
48
is,
seconds
but at least
left.
you're not drinking, right?
Some nice passes.
It's honestly sad how this game can affect people. Isn't that a bit?
Surprising look from them.
It's quite drastic, to be honest.
Either way, I mean, Sonics, you just gotta close this one out. Try and
Like, I'm
prevent
not
some
too
more
bad,
damage.
right?
Momentum.
It's whatever. We'll go again tomorrow. Blah blah blah. It was just a scrim. Nobody gives a shit, right?
And that first touch, it of course is possible. AXB, though, I wanna
But
give
just in
AXB
general.
first touch. So perfect pass out to Torment.
It's just
Will we
like,
see a
bruh.
kickoff goal? This would be a
It's just practice.
collapse.
We're not depressed, right? We're just a bit like disappointed, I guess. Especially in ourselves. Secondly, at the team a little bit, I guess. Not really, but I guess more ourselves, right?
Double commit though from version 1. AXB gets the double, going for
Um,
a huge 50-50 win. Torment last back. Tries
Yeah,
to buy
that
time. J-Rush
basically sums it up, Kimo.
couldn't win it in the corner.
It is just a scrim, right? It doesn't really matter.
Sathew
It's
breaks it.
I
Gimmick will
just
turn, pops it over one, but J-Rush
hate
is there. AXB,
losing when I feel like the ranks are in our favor, if that makes sense.
that,
Not really ranks, but like if we're really expected to win. That's like,
version 1 will fall to the Sonics in game
for me, that's the worst thing, is losing when you're expected to win. That's something I just cannot handle for some reason.
Two 50-50s in the midfield.
Ooh,
that wasted time
oh,
and prevented
ooh,
a
oh,
comeback
ooh.
from being
I mean, you weren't,
possible
but
in
yeah.
version 1. So
I am or you
Sonics
weren't,
might
trust
not
me.
be the flashiest player, but
We
for
were.
him, He got 2 goals in here where he's normally a player that kind of sits back on the defense, and 2 assists. I mean, 4 to 5 goals he was involved. This man starting to pop off, and I
We
think
were
at
expected
least,
to
give it
absolutely
all that
dominate,
he has
probably.
for Sathew, which
I
is
would say.
quite a lot. I mean,
I think that's a fair.
Sathew, man.
Well, I mean, he's just
That's fair to
had
say.
some moments in the past where mistakes have cost his team, but he's also made it back consistently.
Because if you look at past
this
results,
level
right?
to this point. So you cannot doubt his ability. And with
Me,
this
Chinny,
team, with
Kimo,
Shock in particular,
in the past,
looks
I've always
he's
like
hit his
barely
rhythm.
beaten you, right?
This was a one-sided affair for most
Me
of the
and
game.
at least this
J-Rush
roster, right?
making an
You,
impact as well
Pillock,
all around
and
the
Star. We've
from the
always like
Sonics.
barely beaten you every
So,
match.
version 1 now,
So
they're gonna
realistically,
have to start to recover
you
from
you
that.
get rid of
Game
the,
1, I don't
let's
think
just
was
say,
the easiest
worst
wins.
player. You replace him with
Still
someone that's
looking
better than
for
everyone
one
else in the
to get
team.
that decisive win to justify how heavily the Des
By that logic,
and Chat predicted them to win.
Hey,
That doesn't mean anything that he switched from PS4 to console to
Was thrown out the window. I'm going
to
directly for
PS4 to
Sonic.
PC, to be honest.
On record, like you said, James. Okay, now I can say with confidence because they got a game out of the series. Okay, I'm
And he's
happy.
just
And if you lose,
1600
what
is an
happens?
MMR. It's not a level of play, in my opinion, anyways.
You know, I've already taken 3
Um,
L's in RLCS. I don't think I need to take any more.
Get
I think
start
I'm
have a
just
question
let
mark
the
as
ball
well
stand
as
for
profile
me.
picture, so y'all have one. True.
Yes.
Just let it sit. Okay, well, we'll see.
But yeah, we were heavy favorites. I don't care what you say, but we were. Trust.
Trying to slow
Which
the
is
play,
why
but Gimmick was
that
having
kind of
none
just
it.
amplifies the effects.
Helps out. Pops straight up. Shock. Will tap it high.
I think so too. Sounds like ego
Goes for net.
SMH. It's really not.
Will save it.
I'm sorry, but it is a bit obvious. I won't lie.
Shock. Following up. Another bounce high.
Like me, us with Chinny, if we get swept by you, then it's a bit like, well, alright, but still, I would say, if you compare player by player, Nasiba would probably be the slight favorites.
Get some help from a defender to
But
blast that one
if you
hard.
look at this team, and then play Nasiba, and then look player by player, you're a bit like, okay, that's probably quite heavy favorites.
Pinches out to the middle. Torment to the side wall. Goes for another play on it. Wins it to the corner. Now AXB's turn. Goes straight up off the
If you look strictly to MMR in threes, you'd say me and Pillock cancel each other out. Then Kimo would be better than, well, not better, but would, you know, technically have a higher MMR than both Star and and then you have Jake, who's just miles ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, I mean that is literally replicated on the other side. These boys, they've got some kind of treaty going.
A bit of very clear threes. Who's Pillock? Tom.
I'm happy to see Gimmick there. I was about
They're
to
third.
say, and pretty much roast version 1 because it felt like their midfield presence was so passive that they were almost spectating. But Gimmick has pushed that forward, and he's starting to challenge a lot more fast, a lot more speedy, I should say, and get in the faces of Sonics, which is what you need to do when you're getting outpaced.
Range. Snipe alert. J-Russ full length. The third man bites hard.
Oh, and they just got too aggressive here.
I feel bad because of
Everybody
eating.
committing there. And you're talking about the
What?
third man.
You feel
Nowhere to
bad that
sit
you
down,
ate.
Never on defense, rotating back. I think they got caught up just taking the boost, looking to go for a 50. Now we got a tie game even after the old goal.
Eating so much dog shit. I guess it's worse when you're not even enjoying it, right? If you go by one's rank, okay, buddy. Not that that means anything. Every single pro would like absolutely diss you, mate.
Yeah, and Gimmick, where
Joke, guys. I know.
who got bumped there? I didn't actually have a chance to see. AXB got bumped.
Was coming back.
We're
J-Russ got the
enjoying
backboard
Norius.
pass. Gimmick couldn't read it off the backboard. J-Russ on low boost as well.
Nutritiously.
I feel like Gimmick had a
Okay,
chance
interesting.
to actually hit the ball, even if AXB hadn't gotten bumped. I don't know if maybe he got communicated a little bit.
I mean, it's just food in it,
for the
Kimo.
clear himself, but I thought he had the chance and the space to go for it.
Watch the replays.
Sometimes you just can't
You'll
get
just
there, sometimes
you'll
you
just see us just doubting every
J-Russ
move, to be
really
honest.
off the crossbar. Torment hard hit towards the
Who did
backboard.
you last scrim?
He used up a lot of boost.
Nasibo. If that wasn't obvious.
J-Russ, weak hit, will be first two.
Keg
still.
W.
Off the wall, he'll go for the air dribble, now passing. Sathu touches to the corner, AXB downfield, second effort. AXB's second effort really relieving a ton of pressure.
Oh, and the speed from Sathu there was beautiful. You talked about the pressure from version 1, but Sathu outpacing that final shot.
France? Question mark? If you'd be open to looking at a replay I have, I'm genuinely looking for some opinions on what I can do. Not right now,
Sonic speed indeed.
because I feel like I wouldn't say the right thing.
So they had that opening
But,
up in midfield, AXB wasn't able to
next stream,
clear
sure.
that, and now we're seeing extended efforts on offense from the Sonics. Still a 1-goal game, however.
Thanks. I mean, I'm still nowhere near you, near you, Matt. So
Contact on that. Does get the boost in the corner.
I won't be able to give you good advice, but I'll do what I can,
Gets the save.
I guess.
Center ball, Torment's right there. First touch. Enough for Gimmick to take over, now high.
Come on,
AXB
Sonics.
Gonna try to center it. Sathu hits it off the wall, pops it up. Shock goes for the clear. J-Russ getting the full boost at mid.
Come on, version 1. Nah,
Into
nah, nah,
an
nah.
air dribble, he wanted it, but he didn't
Oh, the bump.
execute perfectly.
Got space, AXB off the bump too. Didn't do anything with it. The 50 from Sath, you keeps it in their half. And now they can continue to mount more pressure. The challenge game even going in the favor of Sonic.
I think you have some good ideas, and I'd like to maybe try some new things.
Shock, first touch, finesse, flicks past one.
Maybe, I don't know.
Sathu, off the wall, he'll go for boost instead of
I don't
going
like to
for the air
think
challenge.
that I am that
Shock.
good, I guess.
Off ceiling and down, AXB races to it, but Sathu's there first. Torment. Up, J-Russ, challenged by Torment, Shock.
And I will always think highly of myself secretly, but I don't want to act like that's the case, if that makes sense.
But the 50 sending it straight up off the ceiling. Shock's touch, Gimmick keeps it alive.
Oh, he's going for it. They're going for it.
Keeps it airborne, a demo, and the ball still doesn't touch Sathu.
That was my impression of you. Yeah, I know.
High in the air, Shock. Trying to find the ground, but he can't. AXB.
Dude,
will
this
go
ball
towards
is
net.
not dropping.
J-Russ gonna try to pinch this to the ground. AXB keeps it alive.
How do you explain it? My ego is high,
Will finally get a big clear. No
my
one can
confidence
get to
is
it.
low.
Game. Sonic
That's how you explain it.
game 3.
You saw Shock try and just drop that ball early on, but it bounced off the wall. A valiant effort for version 1. It wasn't enough, but I was excited, man. I thought they were gonna at least have a shot on net.
And I guess I like to be
Huge
humble,
performance from them as they finally
but
started to take the lead here in the
sometimes
series.
trying to be
Version
humble
1 that got a couple goals last
will
game, I thought
also
they carried
result in you
momentum here,
having
and they
low
started out strong
confidence.
with a forced
But
own goal,
also,
honestly.
not being
And then now
humble
looking
can
back, it
also
felt like it was just a
result in
challenge
you
game
not
overall
having
for Sonic. Every
confidence.
time they were in the midfield, Sonics had an answer with a challenge.
Because
They would
when
stop
you
it
get
out, follow the
clapped,
momentum, and
when you
now
say you're
version
like so
1
much
were
better than
pushing
someone,
forward.
that will
That mistake
absolutely
just doesn't seem to be
crush
there
that
right now
ego.
for
You know what I'm
version
saying?
1. Sonics are driving circles around him. So many challenge wins.
As kind of some people have shown, like Graylish
Making that
is one
play.
example
So him
of
committing all
not
Sonics
being
playing
humble,
well, and now they are one game
having an
away
ego, being
from
confident,
knocking
and then getting
version 1
absolutely smacked.
out of the tournament.
Which is, it's surprising. According to Twitch chat, okay? We all voted for
84%.
version 1. 84%.
Let's talk about. Did I say Jamie? I think I said James. I'm not sure. Sometimes I have to big myself up, especially in a game I don't feel great in, or if I can't big myself up, just tell myself the other team are just shitters. Shit Graylish, okay. I mean, even if I said Jamie, it wouldn't be that much of an issue, in my opinion.
Torment tried to get a flip reset play. Nothing going for him. AXB,
I think
that
he
touch came
doesn't
around
want to be
J-Russ.
called that,
Long shot. Torment.
not because he doesn't want to be called that, if that makes sense.
J-Russ.
I think there's an ulterior reason, which is why the whole thing pisses me off even more. To give myself some confidence in that game. If you can do that, then yeah, and that's a great skill to have. Well, not skill, but I guess you can call that a skill. Chicken is cracked. I love eating some chicken.
I can't believe he threaded that. Now Sathu 20 boost will have to stop this ball.
You see, if you're like Derp, right? And you're not humble. You say that Jake does not make us the favorites.
AXB to the middle. J-Russ breaks up the play.
I think he doesn't want other people to call him that because I gave him the option of saying that I back him not liking to be called something he doesn't like. Oh, sorry. What even is Jake's rank? He was 1800 last season. That was weird text, true. But I think I know what you mean. Like, you acknowledge the fact that it's bad to call him Jimmy, which he kind of rides now. As well, I think he only wants to be called Jimmy by you. Like, if he wouldn't want to be called a certain nickname because you hate the nickname, you wouldn't let one person say the nickname. You would let no one say it, if that makes sense. So it makes absolutely no sense to let one person say it, but not the rest. So he gets mad, he acts as if he doesn't like the nickname, but it's more because one, he only wants you to say it,
Sonic's defense. So
which is
far,
quite a dumb reason,
it's a
and
bit
two,
staffy,
because
but he
you
is
said that one thing about not calling him Jimmy.
Not the greatest touch from J-Russ. Stathy will help him out. AXB will hit it high. J-Russ not enough boost. Has to get the mid. Gimmick going for another touch. This one off the ceiling.
It's clear
Torment
favoritism.
will give it space now. Whiffs on the play. It's gonna be difficult for version 1 to recuperate.
To be fair, I favored him when he came into my stream. Lamau kinda saw him as my prodigy. What Grealish? What rank is Grealish? Got plat.
On 0, but Gimmick forcing the play through.
there it
AXB
is.
on 0 boost.
Actually, also weird thing to think about, but I also think he got boosted to Diamond 1.
Show how important these midfield 50s are. This is about the first time I think I've seen version 1 confidently win a 50 in the midfield, and it ends up with an open net for AXB to shoot at. You saw Gimmick continue to follow it up and win that 50.
You don't go from plat 1 to Diamond 1 to then plat 1 in like 4 days. That doesn't happen. Well, he got to plat 1 to Diamond 1 in 1 day, and then over a couple days he deranked to plat 1 again. Can I beat him in a 1v1? Mate, you beat Fresh. Fresh is better than Grealish. You would absolutely destroy him, mate. Come on. He's splat. Come on, man. Come on, man. Have some confidence, mate. I'm also having like struggles to decipher how good Matrix is, because I played 2's casual with him after Sonic said his mechanics are quite good, where I was like, yeah, he does seem to be playing quite well, apart from some obvious like, why would you go for the ball if I'm right here, you know, those kind of things, which kind of explains why, you know, he plays 3s the way he does in Mafia, blah blah blah. But I can't quite pinpoint how good he is.
Missing that ball. Gimmick with the backup.
I can't be bothered. Yeah, is that as well. He doesn't have rotations, kinda chases the ball quite a lot. His mechanics are quite decent. I would say quite good for him, for his rank. But yeah, he definitely tries to look for reasons why he would be higher ranked. Like, he's playing Mafia, and he's looking for reasons why he should be higher ranked. It's a bit like,
There was a bump on that third man rotating in. I'm not sure who it was, but one of the players from Sonics was taken out.
he does hit aerials, which you wouldn't expect. It's just brain dead. I mean, that would be a simple way of saying it. It's always, whatever. I was gonna say something wrong. If he would shut the fuck about it, I think I'm better than a plat 1. I would say he's better than a plat, but can't be bothered like this. In 2s, I would probably say he's better than a plat, yes. In 3s, absolutely not. Actually, 3s I could actually also see him being Diamond 1, I wouldn't be that surprised.
Oh no. Not the pin, not the pin.
This is going to game 5, by the way.
And it's a risky play because you position your car even slightly to the other side of the ball, and it is
It just should be humble, just be humble and play. Yeah.
I like the risky play. I like what he was going for.
It's like, if I compared him to Salted,
Look, Cooks here is not in this lobby, okay? Maybe we would have gotten
honestly, it's hard to compare Salted to people, you know? It's honestly very hard. Salted is very hard to compare.
That was probably it. The Batmobile would have made the difference.
You're a certain rank for a reason. The lower you are, yes. The higher you go, no.
To the Sonics corner. Gimmick with this challenge up in the air now to Torment. Version 1 just have to melt this time off.
Obviously, I can't say at this rank it doesn't matter anymore, because it doesn't work like that. It's obviously a spectrum. It just slowly, the higher you go, the less it matters.
Game 5, we're going to Champions Field.
What a step-up performance. I mean, even at the beginning of this game, it was J-Russ. We even talked about him being the MVP
There's likely a hidden
of
reason.
this
Yeah.
game and possibly closing out the series for his team. But version 1, it wasn't just one of
You
the
get
players
out of
who
it.
stepped up like J-Russ. It was
Basically.
all 3 of them. We saw Torment going in with some fantastic shooting. He was always on. Three goals, a hat trick to his name. AXB, we saw that little pass, and then also
that
being in
pass.
position. Exactly. And
If
being in
you're
position to
1800
capitalize
plus, I
on
feel like rank
open
doesn't
man.
mean as much
Gimmick
anymore.
with the 50s in the midfield, these guys.
Not even
every single
only
one of them stepped
1800.
up their game.
They
I
certainly
mean
did.
lower as
Started
well.
out,
It
though,
wouldn't
very
be
well
as
for the
much the
Sonics.
case, right?
J-Russ
But
getting that
yeah.
crazy goal from the corner, but AXB I thought had a highlight game.
Yeah.
Getting that pass down was gorgeous. Getting a goal of his own. Torment a hat trick as well. Gimmick, you know, not as many stats to point to, but still some very important plays from him, especially that challenge win that resulted in that opportunity.
You'd seen
for
1800 plus
AXB.
team
So
easily beating a
version 1, finding a
2k,
way to
a
win,
2.2k
but this
team.
is it.
Yeah, same.
Game 5, one team will be eliminated. Who's it gonna be, Turtle? Let's find
Oh.
out.
I think this is a clash in the midfield. We got a 1v1 between Sathu and Gimmick.
Yeah,
I genuinely
even a
think
fucking
whoever wins
2.5k
one v1
team,
right now
mate.
in the midfield between those two, that's gonna get
There
the
are
team that's going
2.5k
extra
players
inning
that you don't
so
recognize,
important
and
with
that's
both
for a
teams
reason.
playing this play style.
In fact, I saw someone on the lead. When you were looking at the leaderboards, right, Kimo? I saw someone called Matey10, which is actually quite fair. To be fair to him, he's quite a good player. He is a bubble level player. But I would say he's barely better than Moggy.
Covered inside the net, bounced down to the ground.
Obviously you guys don't know him, but he's 2.4k. I'm not sure what it was. Might have been 2.2. I'm not sure. But he was high in the leaderboards. And Moggy, he's hit 1800 like once or twice in his life, in his career. And obviously Moggy's team has done quite well, and as in like they took a game off of Ascending Legends in the field scrims. Like the field scrims have been quite good for them, as well as their all CS placement was decent. It wasn't really too special, but especially their scrims were good. These compared to actual series, yeah, ranked is just a bit weird.
J-Russ is there. Hard hit off to the side. Now AXB pinches it.
But like I don't see a GC team 15-15 getting beat by Champ 2 team. I do. I can see it 1500 team getting beat by Champ 2s. I can definitely see that happening. In fact, that's kind of, not really, but that's kind of what we did in Oral SS. Sorta. Well, they were like, they had two 15-50 players, right? Even saying 15-50 hurts me, because it's dumb to put like 50s in between. It's like makes more sense to put 100s, but let's say 15-50, two 15-50 players and a 1700. We were 2 Champ 3s. I don't know what Derp was at the time. I feel like he was Champ 2 at the time, I won't lie. I mean, they were shitter than usual, but like, as you said, you just said, you don't see a GC team getting beat by a Champ 2 team. If peak performance, the GC team will win, but it doesn't mean they can't get beat, right? That was Champ 3, fair enough. So it was a full Champ 3 team, beating, I would say 1600 team, if you kinda say 15-50 twice, and then one 1700. You could call that 1600. No, none of us were GC. Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I will see that. Will admit that I see that more happening, a bit more. Because 1800 plus, that's like Moggy, right?
Is that open?
Oh, AXB did get the harass on Shock. Now a long shot. AXB streaking back does keep
Moggy got a third now, a new third, because one of his teammates wanted to focus on real life. You're a C1? Yeah, totally, buddy. I mean, your rank was C1, but you played with Salted. Your real life. I mean, no matter what Derp says, I mean, you can disagree, but I think in Spring Series, Kimma, you played by far the best out of anyone from our team. I was C1 though, and I didn't get out of it.
Sting Turtle.
Fuck off.
Version 1 has that counterattack
I'm blushing.
ability.
Yeah,
within
I
them.
played. I played in Arl's Spring Series. I played absolute dog shit. I played a bit like how I played today, obviously, but then a bit worse because I've gotten a bit better since then. You thought I popped off? No, I was absolute dog shit. I played like how I did today. It's just that nervous. I did calm more now than I did back then. Back then it was kind of because I didn't want to though, more than I couldn't.
On the half of version 1. But Gimmick trying to dribble that one. He gets
I won't lie though. I won't lie. Whenever I did have the ball in Spring Series, yeah, I just said I didn't want to come back that day. I was just like,
He's on 0 boost.
this top com joke. I'm on the field. Yeah, literally, I was just making a joke of myself on purpose. I did think though. Whenever I did have the ball, I did usually pass it. Like I had a lot of center passes. Like I do them a lot less now than I did back then. I feel like.
Pops it by. This could be good for version 1, but he gets away from him. Torment has to double back. Shock. Pass to the middle. Gimmick up.
Only solo plays.
AXB.
No, to be honest, not really.
No way.
Torment. And now Matthew hits it down. The Sonics.
I don't want to do solo plays. I very much think that a pass is better.
I'm telling you, they are on the come up. They've got the skill. The new pickup, J. Russ, coming in clutch. And Safu, I still gotta hand it to the man. I think that he was.
It's just during a series, right?
In terms of how you
Especially in this one, because I felt like we were unsure of what we were doing. I feel like there would be one guy on the ball, and there would be two, usually one that's looking for boost, and then the other who's like kind of trying to be in a safe position, if that makes sense. So it felt a bit awkward to even try passing plays. We felt too unconfident to do that, I feel like.
Great plays come out. J. Russ making solo plays. You saw the own goals from both
Weren't as
Gimmick
committed,
and
that's what I
Safu.
mean. As in,
And,
we were just
the
not
counterattack
confident enough to
plays,
try
the
anything.
passing from AXB.
We were too scared.
This one was a hard-fought victory for the Sonics.
Yeah, I mean,
Breezy who?
still am proud of version 1.
I'm a
though,
personal
because I did
advocate
see
for
them
solo
bring up
plays,
AXB
but only when
high.
you can't
Kinda
be
doubted
absolutely
Gimmick
sure
and
when your
Torment
teammate will be
in
there.
terms of how their shooting would,
Solo plays can
you know,
work,
step up, 'cause those
but
guys, they have to be on point as
I don't
well.
know.
They're gonna be receiving passes from AXB, but every single time AXB did make a
It
play,
always
they were there
depends
to
on the
finish.
situation.
In the end, it
Passes
wasn't
weren't on.
enough, though, to counter
The thing
Sonics,
is,
man,
a
and they
couple of
barely
our
hung out.
passes
Credit to Sonics, man. That was impressive.
Credit to Sonics
did
indeed.
connect.
Stay
It would
alive.
just,
Version
you
1
know,
has
the shot would
been
go to
eliminated.
fucking
We are going to go to a
crossbar or
quick
whatnot.
break, but when we come back, more RLCSX.
We had actually had a couple times where we just clanged the ball to the crossbar like 5 times in a row. It was just cursed, yeah. At the end, the last game, when I scored our last goal, I was honestly surprised that I scored, cause we hadn't scored a normal goal. I feel like since forever. Like in that last series, we didn't score like any normal goals. Like it was really weird. We always had to get like some bullshit goal somehow.
Knows how to build unlimited right. Start with America's most awarded network.
I'm on my phone 20.
Yeah, the last series was yikes.
First time ever.
It was.
Families more entertainment with
I mean, I
Disney+,
didn't even like how we
ESPN
played in the first
Plus,
series as
now
well.
all included.
I felt like we were bound to lose the longer we went on.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
With plans starting at just $35. The network more people rely on gives you more. This is unlimited built right. Only on Verizon.
By the way, Derp, Sonic's one, just so you know. You were saying how the version was better. Just so you know, you're wrong. I'm joking, of course, but like I'm right. Just so you know. Right, good night, Kimmo. Appreciate you stopping by. You said Magnifica sucks. You know, there's always one wrong prediction from a prediction god. Just so you know. how you guys were better and you were. See, technically we should be better. As a team, maybe not. But technically we should be better. I guess that's a better way to that's a better way to word it, Derp. Maybe the team isn't better, but we should be better. You know, is that better? Is that more to your liking? Dun, dun, dun. It's even? No, it's not. Not by a country mile. By player, nah. Me and Kimo basically equal any of your players, and then Jake just absolutely claps the other player. So it's two people are equal, you can say, and then Jake absolutely claps the third man. That's how you would compare. You can be confident. You can have this ego of being like, well, that's not really, that's a bad word to use, but it's the word I'm using, of thinking, which I do myself, right? You can be like, okay, I look at me and I look at Saib. Okay, I think I'm barely better, but it's close. Just being that like, if it's close, equal. Like, I just kind of look at that at like if you're expected to win or not. And like Star and Kimo, no, it's close, but I think Star is a little bit better, but still equal. And then if you think Pillik is a god or some shit, and I guess you could say Jake's equal, but I think Jake's quite a bit ahead. Based on threes ranks, same. I've known Jake for a long time, and I can tell you, he's miles better than anyone in that lobby. But I'm higher ranking ones. Yeah, cool story, bro. Ones doesn't mean shit. Godsmill is like the #1 way to look at things. This stand as well, Chan 3 and 1s. Like what? That's the dumbest argument I've ever seen. Like, I'm not about to roast you about how you play, but I could probably do that if I wanted to. But I feel like you're being a bit too unhumble, if that makes sense. As well in Mafia, someone said, oh, I think it was Ollie, being like, oh, he's so fast, he's like beating me to the ball every time. And then you were like, oh, he's not beating me to the ball yet. So we're like, okay buddy, Toxic Saib, you can reply to toxicity with toxicity. I feel like being unfairly confident of yourself is a bit toxic. That's like Moon saying, and not to be rude to Moon, it's just when it's obvious, it's obvious. It's like saying Moon is equal level of derp. Like, there's obviously a difference there. Like, no offense to Moon, he's good at the game, obviously. Champ 2 is a good rank to be. It's a bit rude to just be like, yeah, he's the same level. You know? Clap us though. With reason, is because there's an obvious difference if you look at rank by player. I think you're being rude by assuming there wasn't a favorite. Because there was a clear favorite. You guys, I'm not saying we're as a combination we're better, but if you look at the players, there's a clear difference there. There's a Jake Adams. Think what you think. I think you're being extremely egotistical there and arrogant. I won't lie.
I blame Gibbs. I blame Gibbs. It's always the easiest just to blame Gibbs, get it over with really quickly. But we've got a crazy matchup next, James. G2 versus Rogue. You know, I don't want to mention it. It's already old news. It's you know, G2 and Kronovia. You want to talk about it? But I'm looking at First Killer right now. I think he's just on the grind. The man is exponentially increasing with skill, and he's popping off in every series.
And I'm with you on that. I think First
Jake is
Killer,
too good.
you knew
Sure.
he was something special even back when he was 13, playing in 1v1 tournaments, 2v2 tournaments, getting crazy wins.
Everyone knows I
playing
judge
so
people when I feel
well.
like they act
You knew he was
extremely
one
out of
those
order.
special players.
Not extremely,
Used
but
to
just a
roll
little
lot
bit.
with Atomic, I believe,
I've,
back in
I've
the
literally
day.
made a tweet about why I do it as well.
Atomic winning so many twos tournaments together. First
Right off
Killer,
the bat,
awkward ball.
Oh my.
J-Naps is
Some
able
proper
to
threes at
slump it
Jake.
around him.
Of
Look
course.
at the bumps. Look at Chicago. He takes
I mean, he's
third
only
turn
playing with
around
us
and
for
then
all
fingers up the
CSX, right?
backboard.
So
And Rizzo took out
if you
Crow.
wanted to team with them, you
I've
could do
never
that after
seen
that.
bumps like that, where you go on the backboard and take somebody out where they're in the air and not on the backboard themselves. What a play.
I mean, like if you wanted to team with him, like with an actual third as well.
You got J-Naps taking the
Of course,
shots.
rank threes is whatever. That's not really proper, right?
Then you got
Okay,
Rizzo,
okay.
you got Chicago just putting everyone else into the boards.
Well, I mean, it's a good time to pull out that strategy because both these teams sitting at 2-1, you win this and you make playoffs, James. So you got to bring out strategies like that.
You have a current team. I didn't actually know that.
I've been seeing G2 do quite a bit. Rizzo's always been
Then moved to main roster. What do you mean moved? You mean a uni roster? Because on a normal roster, you don't just get moved. As far as I know, at least.
Rogue, you even heard Rogue
I was
during the
subbing.
Reynolds
GG's?
interview.
Yeah, GG star.
Rogue is that team that Reynolds
How you
also
doing, by the
thinks
way?
that has a lot of potential. And
I might have
they're a team that in the history of
roasted
Rocket League Turtle, I mean,
Derp a
even
little
you
bit.
were on Rogue. You know, they've had
Oh, yeah.
ups
But,
and downs, looking for that secret
yeah.
formula, and they perhaps
Just a team.
found it, but Chicago,
Like if you sub for them, you're expected to never play.
You know, this is starting to look like when I was on Rogue. The defense
You roasted
was
yourself?
bad. So we got one player flying
That's
the
a bit
ball,
salty, I
Rizzo
won't
can't
lie.
take that read, and
Gonna
Chicago,
lurk?
again, destroying
Because I'm playing Rainbow? Alright, enjoy.
and he's got a Christmas goal explosion. I think it's a little early for that one.
I thought I scared you away, Derp.
It's not even July anymore. You can't even make that joke, man.
That's just poor taste.
But it's working, okay? He's
Like,
got the
you
demos
can
to
obviously
play.
disagree
Demos
and
already,
say,
just alone in this game one.
and think secretly
So super
that you're
aggressive
still the
out of
favorites.
Chicago, which is what I like
But like
seeing,
when
because
you're
that
talking
makes-
to
that
other
makes Rizzo
people,
have an easier
you can't
job.
just
He
be
can focus
like,
more on the shooting.
oh yeah, so the teams are pretty equal, like we were kinda expected to either win or lose. I wouldn't be surprised if we won, like by a country mile, anything like that. If you talk to other people, you
I
just
love
can't
that
do
pass
that.
from Chicago
I
out
feel
to
like.
midfield. It was a bit risky if he kind of hands that off and gives away possession. Could have been a good counterattack for Rogue, but instead
Secretly, you can
J-Naps
of
is using
course
his
think that,
confidence.
like,
It's
it's
just
fine.
gonna bang it across
You
stage
can be
and position
confident of yourself, just
and
talking to
continue
other
to get an open
people.
net. So like you said,
You have
only
to
2 minutes in, we've got 3
respect
goals
the
for
obvious
G2.
differences that other people will see. I don't sub for them anymore. The other two want to play RLCS with me just because I play more than the third at the moment.
One hit around Rizzo.
We just came into it, you know.
Quick turn from Kronovi. Rebound as well. First Killer puts it towards net.
I'm not
J-Naps
sure
gets
what
this one.
you're trying to say with that,
Back-to-back
but
kills
sure.
for him as well. Popping off real quick. You gotta keep that boost
You guys thought
and stay
you
in
would
net.
win, we
Some
didn't.
good
That's
awareness
fine.
from him, and now he gets the backboard touch. J-Naps
But
is
when talking to
starting
other
become a highlight
people,
player just in game 1.
I feel like you have to accept the obvious differences and be like, you guys were probably the favorites.
You know, winning E-League back with Kronovi.
Or when you're like, you finish your series and you go to like one of your best friends,
There's history on the field right now, and
Yeah.
you know, even just
I feel like
we were
you
talking about it
you
on
would
break.
naturally
Season one
say,
RLCS World Champion
well, if
tag.
you look
So
at the
bringing
players, they were
Kronovi
probably the favorites.
back
We
when
just
this all
were better.
started, won
And we
in
won.
some of the most unlikely
That's fair.
circumstances that you'd ever see. And that
The fact
just
that the man is still playing.
oh, but now they're getting smoked. Kronovi getting
Are,
smoked by
are
his old team.
you guys still favorites?
Trying to get that ball out. Goes for the 50
To answer that question, in this series, no.
And that proved to be his demise.
Didn't really want to see that goal.
It would probably be quite
Was
close.
not looking forward to it, but again, Chicago puts one in. I think G2, they're playing mad. Earlier on, I mean, they got swept by Space Station, who are looking unbeatable. They've got to be frustrated, and that's probably why they're going for all these demos.
The demos seem to be working. G2 having their way with Rogue right now. Rogue not really putting up much of a fight. Chicago has that ball pinched over to Turo. Turo.
I'm a bit confused though, Matt.
Pronovi has to retreat.
Or just playing RLCS with them, or are you like dedicating to them?
No boost, going all the way back. Good handoff from first killer.
Because surely if you were to sub, you didn't mean to dedicate yourself to it.
It's a rebound opportunity. That rebound opportunity shut down by Rizzo. And now JNAP's going for that clear. Well handled by G2.
Yeah, that's all Chicago needed to do in that instance. Usually, you put a lot of responsibility on that last man, but if you can stall out time by just getting a slight hit off the backboard and destroying that first shot, it gives your teammates so much time to get in front of the ball. So Chicago, while it didn't look too fancy or didn't have a follow-up hit, it's really solid execution.
And that's what G2 does best, Turtle, playing as a team. You see more team passing plays out of them than almost any other team when they're playing at their prime.
Right. That was a nice word.
Chicago has Rizzo in the middle, right to him. Turo gets the 50, however. Rebound opportunity. Turo does put it in eventually, so there's no shutout.
The goal.
But only 10 seconds left, not much of a comeback opportunity.
Yeah, I think looking at the scrim tomorrow, you would say who would be the favorite? It would probably be slightly towards Nasibo, I would say. Player by player comparison, it would still be obviously us. But as a scrim, obviously, as a series, I would say slightly it favors Nasibo now, because there is obviously the series to base your opinion on.
Convincingly, it started poorly for Rogue, ended less poorly.
I still don't think we are the favorites. What do you mean?
JNAPS and G2 taking it right to him. Chicago and Rizzo, the amount of demos we saw from them, the bumps, the aggression. I would be frustrated if I was them, Turtle.
Yeah, I mean, they're mad. They're heated off of that 3-0 from Space Station. Rizzo didn't even have any shots in this game, which is crazy because a lot of times he's the one who's banging the midfield 50s and responding to him with shots on net. But this time, he didn't even need to get to that step because if he can get the demo and Chicago can get the demo, then it's JNAPS there to shoot.
One of the things that G2 does so well.
Looking at the series of 5-4, even in the games we won, I think your team was more impressive.
And that works out so well for them so many times. And that game 1,
I think our 4-2 win was a fluke.
So going into game 2, we'll see what Rogue does to adjust.
That's why I would still put you a slight favorite still.
It seems like historically to counter G2, you have to read that.
Because we have a team.
Well,
Well, you said I still don't think we are the favorites. You don't think Nasibo are the favorites. Why not then? You've not explained that. It's a weird situation. The team is half the old team I played with me, Zods, Mikaso. We disbanded and me and Mike stopped playing, Zods kept playing, and we made the team with new rosters, Zods, Rocket Jr. and TDB. I started to get back into Rocket League. I want to dip my toes back into competitive, so I asked if I could sub. TDB is focusing on things, I think, and so doesn't RJ. Would rather play RLCS with me. Yeah, that makes sense. But that still doesn't mean you're dedicated to them. Like you wanted to dip yourself back into competitive, but so clearly not as much. They would try to get to a main team, right? So you subbed for them. Still doesn't mean you would dedicate yourself to them, right? Like, of course, if they say, "Can you sub in for us for LCSX?" then can be like, sure. But are you dedicated to that team? Like, if you were offered the chance to go to a certain team, would you be like, yeah, or would you be like, nah? They want me to play for them. I wouldn't say I'm dedicated. Yeah, I thought so. Because I'm not gonna put expectations up. But you guys said it was even. Do you still think it's even then, basically? Oh my god, cyber streaming, I'm a big fan. Hey Jake, hey. We expected to clap BDiE before, but expectations cucked us, IMO. So now I have no expectations when you were Chinny. Yeah, I agree. I thought when we were with Chinny, you were the clear favorites.
Had some awareness of where the other team was, he could have capitalized. Oh, here he is again,
And
though.
this time
That
with
was a fancy
Jake,
one.
we were the clear favorites.
And we like fancy ones.
Indeed we do.
But
That's what
Weir,
earns you
me,
the
Ala,
spot.
Arzaga are
If you're
good.
gonna bully somebody with a
Lamau.
sub sandwich, if you score goals like
Wait,
that,
Weir?
you will get rewarded with it.
Weir, me?
Some
I don't know what
fancy
that
stuff.
sentence means.
That is.
Perfect world, I'd maybe try to make Zuds,
Misses
Jake,
that.
and
Oh,
myself work.
the net wide
I would
open.
love that.
Kurnovi walks that one in.
I'm gonna expect us to lose KW, but I'm expecting, but I'm gonna expect anything now. So okay, the man himself, true. Hey Jake, how you doing?
Finally, like you said, Turtle, getting some revenge. They've been getting pushed around. First killer,
Where we
not only getting that double, but
were.
goal right after it.
What you just typed there is we are. I'm not trying to upset you.
First
But you just
killer,
put there is we are.
just high follow up from Turo. Doesn't result in anything.
You meant what you meant is we're.
Jane
If you
Apps
put like
contested. First killer,
like
second
an
effort.
apostrophe,
Goes towards net, can't get the
you're trying
block.
to you combine two words, right? So it's we are.
Upfield, Jane Apps
So
turns a little
were we
late.
any good? It was honestly odd playing you guys, cause
Turned a little slow on
at every time I didn't really know what was happening.
Maybe
As in,
he had a
like,
better look.
whenever I had the ball, I feel like 3 players challenged me, so I found it quite odd to play. So I didn't really have much. I didn't really think much of what was happening. It was a bit random, so I can't really say if you played good, bad. I think we played. It was autocorrect. Okay. But you did it twice in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Hungry, infield pass to Jane Apps.
You think I played well? I think your whole team played well.
Thought he had it. It was a good look, a good pass. That setup from G2, classic. It couldn't connect.
You were not as nervous this time, Star.
And now Kurnovi
Perhaps that's
does
due
net,
to
get
not
the
being the
attention back.
favorites
Right
this
out to
time.
Turo. Off the backboard, first killer shot off the backboard as well. The counterattack is there. Chicago crossbar down.
Maybe we were horrible.
And we're going
But you
back
still
and
won.
forth, full field, but no one can make it work.
We're clear favorites, because it's the first time I've played with Camo. I was saying that we did better than when I first played with Camo and ASCII. I mean, I don't know. I just meant like player by player. I think it's mostly because I compare Chinny and Jake, right?
Rizzo can't
I mean,
beat
player by
first.
player it's
Turo
still
is there.
favorites, but
Demo, first
just
demo,
because I
Jane
guess
Apps
we
off
won
the backboard,
the series
Rizzo
against
misses Chicago.
Osiba with Chinny,
Pass, Kurnovi
that
on
if you would
Turo,
get
loses
Jake
Turo.
in, it would
Opened it up.
obviously
Second attempt.
be
Goes
just
for
the
the
same,
corner
but
pass.
better.
Rizzo on the backboard. Will send it long
As a
over to
team, I
Jane
think we
Apps.
were
Jane Apps
favored
upfield.
because we have
Kurnovi
playtime,
to
but I
Rizzo.
think
Rizzo
singularly,
infield pass.
we were the favorites,
Chicago
yeah.
couldn't get there in time, but Rizzo played very
I still
well
thought as a team we would
to get
still
that
be
opportunity for
favorites,
G2.
because of that one comparison I just made.
That's what I talked about. Where if you see G2 trying to make a play with their teammates, and there's a shot off the crossbar from Kurnovi. That one was almost there. We've seen now one chance each. Bounce it off the crossbar as we get over.
Hey, my favorite match. True.
Overtime,
Burn to
G2
tomorrow? Yeah,
wanna get
same
that
time.
2-0 lead.
Or well,
Rogue looking to
maybe
tie
same
the
time.
series
I
up.
don't know.
Rogue
Maybe an
looking
hour
much
earlier.
better
Not sure.
in this game than the last.
But yeah, it should be good.
Even Kurnovi bouncing
Should be
that one
good.
off the crossbar. But G2 has also had their fair amount of opportunities come and go.
Oh, no,
Yeah, 1 hour earlier, since UCL is right after.
JNAP just opts to keep possession and the boost.
You mean Champions League, yeah.
Going for the corner himself.
Actually, another
Turo
tournament I'm
denies
joining,
it.
which is called UCL. But it's a solo queue tournament, if that makes sense.
First killer, that one skipping off the backboard to Kurnovi. Kurnovi popping it up for Turo.
As in, like, you can't join in as a pre-made.
Now Rizzo.
And
to
Chinny is
Chicago.
actually, like,
Chicago off the backboard.
a team owner in that type of tournament.
Scores. G2 win game 2.
Let's go,
Oh, and
G2.
it's off another lovely pass. Rizzo, the decision making to slam that into the ground.
So basically, Chinny's gonna be my coach.
The fact that he didn't bang
And I'm
it
gonna
off
have,
the
like,
backboard,
random
instead
teammates.
Bounce that one off the floor. That's a next level pass where you're thinking 2 steps ahead. You see the defense, you read it well, you get
In a
that pass out
championship
of
league,
midfield,
what's it
and your
called?
team can take advantage.
Yes,
Rizzo,
that thing.
he was the stem for that play. What a clutch moment for all of G2.
And Chicago going for the back.
I'm not gonna lie, Jake. I'm looking at, like, their discords and whatnot, and it feels kind of shaky. Like, I'm not sure
everyone
how
working
well
like
that
a
tournament's
well-oiled
gonna plan
machine.
out.
Rogue, however, had that chance. Kronovi shot off the crossbar.
Is it just me?
That could have been it.
Yeah.
And this one, though,
Because I've
a
seen
much
people
better look for Rogue, but
complaining,
now they
being
are
like,
in a ditch
are there
that
actually
they
going to be
dug
tryouts?
themselves, and they're gonna have to try to
I've
crawl
seen
out of.
that when
Down
the
2
combines
games
are
in the best
happening,
of
so like
5.
people are playing against each other, like people of like the same rank roughly are playing against each other to see like who's better, blah blah blah, or who would work as a team, etc. It's 2v2s by the way, not 3v3s, 2v2s. There were also like no owners of like a technical team, but they obviously don't have players yet. There were no like owners who looked or scouted anyone, so it was a bit odd. It looks like it's not going as fluent as they may have wished for.
That is indeed the case. I think even for JNAP's bit of redemption, he had a few shooting looks that
Hi Jake, you're not even in the main server, aren't you?
but hit the overtime
Yeah, no, you're not.
that makes up for it all.
Yeah.
Given the role for being an UCL member, but I need to do these missions, which I find weird. Wait, did you join the actual main server? Is that what happened?
Get it by Kronovi. Turo will turn, uses up a lot of boost, but he'll get some pads. First killer, dribble control, flicks it by one. 1v1 situation, going for the dribble, air dribble goal for first killer.
You can never leave this man in a 1v1 scenario. You give him any space, even if there's 2 players. If he's got the space, he's gonna hit it first killer. This is why he's one of the best at 1v1s, and he's showing it here in the 3v3 match.
Even that first flick,
Getting
it around defenders.
You know what I found weird is in admissions they like,
First killer,
if you do orientation they give you the link to their main Discord server, but then they say message me when you've joined the server, and then he deletes the message, like the invite up to the Discord,
that net was wide open,
which I found quite weird.
far post is
As in like
in,
they're trying to
just
invite
missing the
you,
mark. And now JNAP's counterattack.
but they don't want you to invite other people, right? Because they want only people who have gone through admissions to join the server, right? But it's so odd because I just copied the link, the invite link, and pasted it somewhere else, so I technically have an invite link to the server, unless they like destroyed it, right? But if they destroyed it, why does he need to delete the message? Why does he destroy the invite link? I don't get it. It's a bit weird. It's a bit odd. They seem to like try to not get scammed, but it doesn't make any sense.
Wait, hold on a second. We gotta break this down. Was first killer going for a fake here? I think he was. Wait.
The one that pinched me. Yeah, first killer was definitely.
I was invited to it. Sir Pio told me he just gave me the role, but I still need to go through admission. But I CBA because I won't be playing. Yeah, no, definitely.
Make JNAP's play the block and let it bounce in. Why not?
I left the admission server as well.
Gamble.
I don't really need to be in there, do I?
First killer thinking ahead. JNAP's getting fooled. Turo up. Stopped by Chicago. JNAP's lobs it. Kronovi booming clear, but Rizzo will have to
SSG is like weird how a real arsenal of SSG is like weird how Pittsburgh Knights were the hardest team to face, and SSG faced Pittsburgh Knights, NRG, and G2. And apparently they struggled the most against PK. It's quite funny. That is quite funny.
And that's how they end up getting that clear. What a job. Stellar defense from Rogue.
Can they keep this defense going? However, Turtle, we're approaching the halfway point. Rogue, a 1-goal lead.
All the bumps.
Trying to avoid the sweep.
Rogue, man, they can't just seem to get that big win against like
Off the wall. First killer beats
multiple top 4 teams.
the rebound miss. First killer cleans up. And Rogue
Like they could just create a role that allows someone like me to be in the main server, but obviously not play. Yeah, it would just be called guest.
But instead ended up whiffing. It's first killer. He's the kryptonite. Anytime JNAP sees first killer, he panicked.
Like the one that's in Chinese server, and Chinese server is like unfinished, like completely not worked on yet.
We saw it definitely affect JNAP's. He crumbled. Perhaps it is just the aura.
I'm
of
quite
first
worried about Cal's
JNAP's
like
Goes for the pass. First
um
killer had it
like
ready
owner
easily.
team
First killer
Vikings
now going
thingy
for a 50, gets the
server.
demo and the corner boost and the 50 win.
I wonder if that's gonna work out, cause wasn't someone else supposed to like do work for him or some shit?
Rogue are playing the reverse card, man. They have
Like his server is so like
playstyle
it doesn't have anything
in the
about it,
physical game, and
and
now
it's so
they're getting in
weird.
the way of those passes.
Chicago did very well to save that shot from first killer, however. This game's not over yet, but Rogue are starting to hit their stride. Multiple demos, possession,
Oh
shots,
my goodness.
mistakes from G2, everything going Rogue's way. The team passing play even shut down. First, off the ceiling, Chicago, weak shot. Kronovi will hit it up to first. First off the wall. Turo, not the greatest hit. First helping out. Infield pass, Chicago. Rizzo tried to bump Kronovi. Didn't make contact.
Oh, nice little pass there from JNAPS too. I like how they're still using each other. Even in these moments of panic, where they've got a lot of pressure to deal with, they're still utilizing each other and looking for those passes. Speaks a lot to their ability to come back and possibly get one here with a minute left.
I'm still irritated.
Rizzo, back to Chicago. Chicago
I'm
shut
still
down by
irritated.
Turo, or Kronovi rather. Turo now taking the shot.
Rocket
Off
League
the
just
pass
gets
from
to me so
Kronovi.
way too
Kronovi
much.
gets
It's
the walk,
irritating.
Gets the pass. Turo cleans up, and Rogue will have this game in the bag.
And that's just unfortunate for Rizzo. He was the one in the midfield who had to predict that pass.
Well, goes Rogue. I want Rogue to do well, but I don't want him to do well against G2. So it's fine. No, it just reminds me of let me look. Let me actually go. Challenge.
Rogue figuring a lot of things out this game.
Not this. Chinny.
They have
You don't need to look on my
turntables
pocket
in
Yu-Gi-Oh
terms of
tournaments.
progression on G2, keeping G2 on their back
Can I not
foot.
find Chinny 98?
Another rebound
I know
opportunity.
I know a way
That
to find them.
almost put away. Kronovi.
These are just prototypes. Don't look at these. I've just been looking at like how to form the brackets for a 1v1 tournament I will be hosting at some point. Derp, derp. Okay. Leaked.
The fact that they've stayed consistent last game and this game.
Where is it? Not the one I created. The one I joined. Oh, this one. This one. Is that for me? Yeah, you can join that one. This is one's turn. Yeah, I know. I got absolutely clapped by Joel here. Fucking hell. I'm Chinny. You're so nice. I know, right? I'm so nice. I got you, fam. I sorted you out. Where am I looking? Tournaments. Okay. Dre Drunk 1v1. 2v2. No, that was fine. Just and champ.
I think first killer is scaring him a little bit. Whenever you saw that 1v1
that
play from
first
first
goal.
killer,
Here.
that's what struck the fear. You're scared of him after that, man.
Yeah, JNAP's missing this one here. First killer able to get that goal. Giving up a pair of those.
Choke for sure, though.
And it's tough to come back from that. So I think if you're
I mean,
G2, you're
it's
just saying that
possible.
game
I
was a
still
fluke.
think
We gotta recover. If
you'll probably be the favorite, though. I don't think anyone better than you would join the tournament.
Be physical, go for the demos.
Should I just have this on in the background? By the way, I'm gonna show a couple things as well as a format I've been looking at.
Really, any passes connect out of G2.
I'll just have it on in the background, I guess. This Rocket League thing. This was my team. Me and Imphy, actually. Butter churners are, as you can see, 4-0 in this the picture-in-picture thing.
That's what I'm talking about. The fact he reached that pass, goes for it. He just needs to get a
The
little
picture-in-picture.
throw off G2.
The picture-in-picture.
See if that strategy works. JNAP's taking his time in the corner, tried to pass it down. First killer was sitting there waiting for it. That high pop, Rizzo.
On Twitch, the picture-in-picture on Twitch. I don't know what this is.
Off to the side to Rizzo.
Picture-in-picture?
JNAP's back
Picture-in-picture?
who leaves it. Kronovi.
Huh?
Might have been trying to find first killer. Didn't find him. Chicago goes for net. Saved. Rebound opportunity. Shut down.
Mean this?
By first killer. It's a race. JNAPS gets beat by Turo on the 50.
Picture-in-picture?
Turo out of boost. Still gets the pass out to the middle. If someone from Rogue was there, Turtle, that could have been devastating.
I was with Imphy here.
JNAP's passed it to him now off the backboard. It's all up to Rizzo, who can't crash the net.
We won our first series against Noobsy,
No angle, but G2, they're not
which was MPR and Doobsy, which was like the worst team they were gonna lose against everyone. They even like fucking disqualified later on because they couldn't play anymore. We won against them. Yeah, no shit that happened. Then we took our first game against Butter Churners, right? We were like the best team here, and we were so confident after that. And then we lost the next two games, and then we thought we were like, we looked at the teams and like the players who were in the other teams, and we were like, yeah, we're the favorites now. We'll probably like clap everyone and get second. And then we got like clapped here, lucky noobs. Absolutely clapped. We didn't actually get clapped, but we lost both games. Then here, in the last series, I kind of stopped caring, if I'm being honest. And we lost that as well in game 3 overtime. And I remember after this happened, I was like so down, because I kind of looked at the bracket and I thought we were probably the favorites, and most people thought we were like the favorites to finish second here. Most people thought that, but we didn't quite do that. That's a 3-20 though. Yeah. Was a chinny yikes? Was a chinny yikes? This is not really anything special. This is not just me testing how this would work. This one isn't special. Basically, you can look at this. Basically, the 1v1 tournament I'm thinking about doing is just a 1v1 multi-stage tournament, right? Where you would have different stages. This would be an example of like the gold stage, right? I've looked at Fresh's account. He's played 6 ones matches and he's literally silver 2 in 1s apparently this season. He has obviously haven't finished his placements, but he would end up in this stage. And basically, you get like the top 2 of the gold stage. They would rank up, let's say, to like the plat stage, and that's where the second stage would happen. Is the plat stage, then the diamond stage, and then this champ stage is what would be the final one. That's kind of how I want to do this tournament. So I've thought of 2 wins to qualify to a stage. This is kind of how I want to do it. I tried to see how this would work, but it does require unfair matchups like this one, where a 2-in-1 person faces a 1-in-2. So this one wouldn't work. The 3 wins one, 2 wins. So yeah, you're literally, people who are champ will already be you'll automatically be already in the best player stage. So you'll just be sitting there waiting till the golds arrive. No, just kidding. I did this because I want everyone to have a good chance. I won't be worried at all. But like, your opponents won't be either. Your opponents won't be either, dude. You think a gold is gonna go all the way from the gold stage to the to the champ stage? You think that's gonna happen? No. There are gonna be people in gold. They'll go up to the plat stage, and I expect everyone who goes up to the next stage to then get knocked out in that stage, if that makes sense.
What is happening, James?
Destruction by G2.
It must is true, Jake.
And collapse by Rogue.
By the way, look at these seeds. I've put. Can you believe this? I've put Fresh 3rd, 32nd, Assault at 1st. Can you believe that? Look at that. Look at that. And Harshepper 5th, because I looked at his 1s ranked. He apparently played this decent amount of 1s, and I've just looked at 1s peak and just started the seeding with that. Just looked at series like, oh shit, looked at Kimmo's show matches, and I've also included that in the show in the seeding here. Since Fresh has not played against anyone worse than him, it's really hard to place him. But he has played better people, so I thought 3rd was fair.
other goofy plays, but it's
I,
still quality
I
and
can't really
early
put him
wins
higher
against
in my
elite
opinion.
sports.
30 does have the highest ones MMR in this thing. Also G2 won, by the way. Sochi does have the highest ones MMR here, but Salted beat him in a show match, so I'm putting him first. I'm putting Salted first. I feel like this is fair. This is fair. Grealish beat Winters. Matrix hasn't played anyone, I don't think. Patrick is just his MMR. Rock beats Grealish, I think, in a show match. I'm back, Mine Slime. Welcome, 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 welcome back.
I'd rather do that than a demo. 'Cause if you
Sorry,
keep bumping
this is
someone, wasting that much
a
of their
ones
time,
tournament that I'll be
you need to
hosting.
get back and recover
Hey, what's
for-
this?
for
I'll
any-
explain to you.
any hit
I
on
wanna
the
host a
demo.
ones
I
tournament.
think I'm taking
Don't
that
look
for
at
that
this
one play
stage, by the way.
alone. I
Not
wanna play
this. This is
against
not
you.
important. This one is important.
And that was tough
Where
to
there's a
witness.
multi-stage
I
one,
imagine what it
where it
would have
starts
been
with
like
a
to have to
gold
play
stage.
through that G2.
Then the top two of the
And
gold
they were
stage will
playing
move
that
on to the
game.
plat
They were
stage,
fast, they were aggressive,
and top
they
two of the
had
plat
the
stage
shots.
will move on to the
It was working
diamond
out
stage,
for 'em, and they
basically.
will make it to that next stage.
So
they
if you
wanna
would
see
join,
G2
you
compete,
would be in the
you'll
champ
have to keep
stage,
watching
waiting
our
for
CSN
all the
channel.
other
If you wanna
stages
see
to
the
be
next
completed,
series that we've got for you,
and then you
you'll have
would
to stay
work.
tuned
What's the
through the stream.
seeding? This is based on MMR, as well as show matches. Fresh is the hardest to really put like a right seeding on, because he's never played any of these or any players around these ranks. But he has played 6-1 matches. He's like silver 2 literally in ones. But I feel like based on what we've seen, I can't really put him low, but I can't put him like number 1. I feel like that would be unfair as well. Surti has the highest ones MMR, so I've decided to just put Fresh under him. Salt is above Surti, is above Surti because Salted has beaten Surti in a show match before. That's how that works.
I'm on my phone 24/7.
Then, for the first time ever, give families more entertainment.
He only played one, yeah, against Star apparently. Would take ages? I don't think it would take that long. This was just a prototype, by the way. I can make
More than this is a great network.
another example. Final.
Gives you more. This is unlimited built right. Only on Verizon.
This would basically be that. This is how I see this stage to work. Of course, if there's an uneven number, because I've checked how Swiss would work in uneven numbers, and I've kind of looked at this. There's basically reasons. If you do 2 win with unfair amount of players, so unfair I mean uneven amount of players. 2 win is too unfair, like too many, like 1 in 2 players will face 2 in 1 players, etc. 3 win is way too fucking long. Literally 15 matches. Way too fucking long. And there's, as well in the 2 win there's 1 rematch, in the 3 win there's 3 rematches. You want to try to avoid as many rematches as you can, apart from the playoff stage. As well as I want to make it so at no point is someone already knocked out but has to play a series. That is why I'm not doing round robin. And yeah. That's why I'm doing Swiss. You could also do double elim, which is what I'm doing. Or if it's an uneven amount of players, I'm just gonna do double elim. But I feel like it would be quite interesting to do Swiss and then into playoff stage, because if you want to make it that everyone is not knocked out at any point until like they don't have to play any series left, then you have to get a top 4 in Swiss. So I did that, and then they and then they play playoffs. You can't join? Yeah, you can. You can join, Star. You can. It's your boy Laptop Khaled. Ooh, let's go, no delay. Wait, what's up? Did you have a delay? Had your PC since 2016? I've got a message from Jake. Wait, what is that picture, Jake? You like have like little dots here or some shit. Weird. I still have to make fucking rules though. Look, don't look at this. I copied this from another tournament. But I still have to do that. Finish that. But yeah, guys, just so you know, Fresh is gonna come first in the gold stage. This is exactly what's gonna happen. These are the exact players that are going to register. Yeah, I can predict the future, and it will go exactly like this, just so everyone knows. Fresh is gonna finish second, and the Swiss bracket, and then he's gonna clap in the playoff stage, mate. Thanks. You have low hopes for James? No, this wasn't a prediction. I will be honest. This was just me putting in random results. You can even look at all the other ones. Like I did random results for each one. In this one, who finishes first? Salted finished first in this one. Here's Fresh, Salted, Horse Yapper, Surti, Rock, Matrix. Rock is, by the way, I put Rock 5th in every single example. He's second last in this one. Can I join gold? No, you'll join the champ one, mate. And this one, mate, look at Grayla, she got 5th here. Rock finished 4th in this one. Poggers. You're gold. Okay, buddy, Moon. No, Moon will probably be in the plat stage, I think, based on his ones rank. I think it is plat 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Moon. I think it's plat 3. Who won this one? Surti, and then Patrick got second, which is Harsh Shepherd. Who won this one? Salted. I just did random predictions. It's quite funny. But this is the only system that would work properly. Plat 3 too high. Put me plat 2. I will ask for an oral tracker of your accounts, your PS4 and your Steam account, and I'll just look what the highest one's peak was for you, and that's how I'll base your seeding. I mean, Moon, you want your ranked technically to be as high as possible, because that's how you'll get the higher seed. You want the highest seed possible. Someone like Winters will have the roughest time here. As you can see, plays Rock first, which is not the biggest like difference. This 4 is 8, and then it gets clapped by Winters, again by Matrix, and then he's out. Rip. Actually, seeds don't actually matter that much in Swiss.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series, presented by Verizon. I'm Leaf, and alongside me, of course, we have the familiar as ever Gibbs, and alongside him there is now Turtle joining us. Turtle, how do you feel about that last match there?
Oh man, that was an incredible matchup. I think that Rogue started to bounce back a little bit. They responded to the demos with demos of their own. They were reading the
By the way, can I notice? Can I just say? There is one issue, one big issue with this format.
They didn't stop. They kept going for it. Rizzo was still a beast and being a bully, and overall it just worked out for them.
Now, one of the most important things though was that game 3 where Rogue.
There's one issue with this format, and that's
too much for Rogue, but for G2 that
if you go 2-1, you are almost guaranteed. As in, like, you win the first 2, lose a third, you're almost guaranteed to get a win in round 4. While when you look at Rogue, look, if they win here, they lose here because they go against fucking Envy. Win here, lose here. So currently they have a worse record than the Peeps. Well, look at the Peeps, dude.
Yeah,
That run
that's
is so much easier.
Rotation seems to be the team that you just want to avoid right now in North America. So to talk about that team and their own team, of course, we got Chicago on the line from G2 to talk about
G2
their
won
victory
his
there.
first
Congratulations, you made it
series,
to the top 8,
then lost,
Chicago. But
easy
again,
dub,
as Gibbs just
as well
mentioned,
as
this is
this
going to be a
the
hard journey. How you
peeps.
feeling about it?
Same for Rogue
Yeah,
here.
it's gonna be very tough, but I'm excited. It's nothing
Who
like what we've
else
played
won
before in terms
first
of
2 series and
RLCS.
then
But last
something
night we did
else.
play regionals against Aces, and
NRG
it was probably the easiest match we had all last season.
version 1.
Again, if we get that rematch, I mean, I'm not scared. They're a good team right now, and it's gonna be a fun
That's
match.
how many
So when
cases?
you travel
1,
away from the
2,
team and go back to
3,
home, where you're now on a much larger ping, like how much of that is an issue for you throughout the
4,
offseason to be
5.
at like the high level that you
Okay,
can play
5 in NA. That's already 5 out of 5 cases
to be honest
where
with you,
someone
it's two
wins the
different
first 2
versions of
series and
ping.
loses,
I feel very
then
bad
wins
for
round
every
4.
West player, including AJ
I
mainly.
think.
The ping
Yeah.
creates a different scenario and how different play styles. Because if I'm on West ping, I have to play farther back and more defensive.
Literally, yeah.
because I
Okay,
don't
let's
have
look at
enough
EU.
IP
Is that the
protection
same?
to
That might
defend.
actually not be the same.
So
I think
really
EU
have
had
been
1
asking for
case
4 years for Central
where
Scrims, but
someone.
yeah, that's always the
No, 2
one of the
cases
cons
actually.
going back home is I love going back home, seeing everyone.
Okay,
But
top
playing
blokes
on that
1-1
ping
lost and 1.
makes the
So that's
game
6 out
not
of
nearly as
6.
enjoyable. So that's definitely
Let's look
not
here.
very fun.
Yeah, I mean, ping aside, it
Okay,
seems like you
Magnifico was
also
a
have been
different
going
case.
through
Yeah,
more demos
I
whether or
thought
not
there
you
was.
have proper ping or
So
you know,
6 and
West
7
Coast
at the
ping. You know,
moment.
originally we had Rizzo going for all the demos, but what made you want to switch it up?
Oh,
and go
at
for
Guild
demos
as
yourself?
well. 6 and 8.
Last couple weeks, I believe, the week before we won the grid, I was actually just like
7 and 9.
what we should tweak in our playstyle because I think everybody was starting to realize how we play and maybe add it to their own stuff and see how
7 and
they can stop
ten.
it.
Yeah, 7 and 10.
So one thing I was like, all right, I see a lot of teams
Magnifico
that are at
defied
the
the
top,
odds twice.
just doing heavy demos.
So
I was like,
7 and
"Alright, I'm gonna
7
try
out
to
of
raise
10
some help
cases.
and maybe create more space for games
If you
and
win
just
the
open up
first
more
2, then
space
lose
for
the
the team in
3rd,
general.
you will win the
So
4th round.
I did that in scrims and then
That's one
won
thing I've
grid,
noticed.
but I think we're still working on me
Reach chat. Yeah, I was just
pushing it
looking.
more
I was just
even when I
doing
don't
maths.
feel
Okay.
comfortable doing it in matches. So yeah, it's just been working a lot
Okay.
in scrims. So I think we're just working really hard on.
I'll
how
play
to
till I get
do it
past 3 so I
consistently in
can get
matches,
guarantee a good
just
seed. I don't think seed
yeah,
actually matters
try
that much, to be honest,
recreate
man.
scrim results.
Anyway, I'm gonna head out. I'm going
I
out
mean,
early,
you
so I'm
pretty
gonna
much
go sweep.
answered
Okay,
what I was
good
gonna
night,
ask
Sart.
anyways here,
Have a
but
good
I
one.
don't know if there's something specific that you guys maybe found out that helps, but that
Cool
consistency,
T
you know,
rank.
it has been
I'll
up and
base
down
it off your
from,
peak, mate. Moon.
way
It's
back
based on
we
your
referred
peak.
to you as the glass cannons.
Fine,
You know,
I'm
you
dumb,
always
I
had
guess.
that
Yeah,
offense, but
hydrate.
you always gave up something
Okay,
with
well.
result. And it seemed to be that all 3 players just had to be in that pure flow
Bye-bye,
state
Sart.
on that day. And day to day, that play style
Yeah,
could be
tomorrow
good or
was
bad,
skimming as
very
well.
volatile. Is there something specific?
Those you guys are lucky.
You
I mean, I guess a little bit because we're EU.
gain that consistency, or do you expect a couple more ups and downs until you figure it out?
I think there'll always be ups and downs.
I won't reach
but I
diamond by
definitely think
mistake.
demoing helps people be more consistent because you don't have to always beat people to the ball. There's more space for you to be open with. But also, I don't think all 3 of us have to be playing great for us to win. I could be playing a lot better right now, and we still caught dubs. But if it happens that we're all playing well, then I do think we're probably one of the best teams in NA for sure, and definitely gonna be excited to see if we can do it tomorrow.
Well, that's exactly it. Let's hope that it can all come together. Everybody's in that again, as I said, pure flow state tomorrow. Top 8. It's going to be a grind, but good luck to you tomorrow.
Interesting to see that Chicago says one of the best NA teams. Not. He doesn't say it could be the best team. He says, I think we are one of the best teams.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
interesting.
Like, I think G2 is in the right frame of mind right
Could
now.
we get
Which
clapped by
matters.
diamonds?
Obviously,
I think you could have
we
close
all know
series.
this at
Maybe you
this
win a
point,
couple against
and I'm
diamonds.
so impressed that
Maybe
they
it'd have to
just
be
have that
low
on-off
end of
switch,
diamond,
where,
like
not
maybe a
just they have
Zonic,
to grind or all these players have to grind
someone
the entire
who
time
you'd
playing
get
Rocket
like
League, but
close
for these
series
guys,
against.
they
But
can take a little bit of a break and then
high
come
diamonds,
back
I
and
can
still be
agree.
at the top
Maybe
of North
that would
America,
be
or at
quite
least
difficult.
right there
But
with the top
on the
dog.
low end,
So
I think you could
it's great
definitely
to see,
challenge
and
them.
obviously we know G2 play
Quite a
really
lot.
well
Will
at
clap
this
me?
playoff
No,
stage,
no,
so
no.
we'll see you tomorrow.
I don't know.
Well, let's take
I
a
don't
look at
think
the
so.
standings right now. We have
She
one
she
final
would
round to
she's
go.
probably
Take
the
a look
favorite
at
to
all
win.
the teams
Yeah,
who made it here. We started
but
with
clap
32
you?
last
Nah,
week, narrowed it
nah,
down
nah,
to
nah.
16 turtle, and now we're down
She could
to
clap
our
you,
final
but
6
I think you could
teams
also
to
clap
try to get in here.
her,
Looking
even
at
though
this,
that sounds
I think there's a
very
couple
wrong.
upsets you can look at here. But anything stand out
You
to
know,
you,
I really
Turtle?
need to get confidence back.
I mean, for me alone, seeing Casey
Perhaps.
Pioneers
Perhaps.
here in Team Frontline. I think that's shocking. But I also, I think Rogue.
Like from your
you know,
point
I
of
had a couple
view,
questions about
it's
them. Rogue
obvious,
wanted down
Moon.
there too, but
If
for
you
me,
go
it's
against
Rogue.
someone
After
that's
that
like
last series,
Okay.
I'm fully
Sonic,
convinced on them.
that
I
you will
think
think
that
you'll get
Rogue,
clapped. That's
whenever they're
natural.
playing on point and when they have that
It's
game
good
3
to
play
think that,
style
in
we
my
just
opinion.
saw in that series,
I don't want
they
people to
deserve even
be.
higher
I
than they
don't
scored, in
like
my
it when people are overconfident. You know.
And Gibbs, how about yourself?
Team Frontline, man, you have to talk about them. They were barely supposed to make it here anyway to the top 16, and
Like the way you're
no one
talking now
expected them
is
to make
good.
a run like this. So now they have a chance to make it to the playoff bracket. That is huge for 3 players that have never even been in the rival series.
Just I
before.
guess
So,
what you could
huge
do
shout out to them.
extra is
Well, let's take a look forward then. As I said, one more round to get
you could
to.
be
Of
like,
course, we still
I
have
hope I
Helix
can
gearing
like
up.
somehow
Third
scrape a win
matchup
against
down here. On
Sonic.
this one, we have two
I
more
think
matches
that's
to look
that's
at,
something you
and
can
that's
say
going to be Rogue versus
instead of I
Alpine,
think I
and of
could win
course
against
Sonics
Sonic.
versus
There's a
Frontline.
difference
Let's
there,
talk
you
about
know.
Sonics versus Frontline because it is
I
coming
think
up
I
next
am
here.
I'm better than Sonic or
Gibbs,
Sonic.
start us off on
There's a
this
big.
one. You're just talking about Frontline there. Sonics also kind of
It
up on the
seems
rise here.
like a
This is
small
kind of
difference, but it's a big difference between you know showing that huge ego and just being realistic. You know, there's a fine line
They started off the
between
day
those
pretty
two.
shaky, but they bounced back pretty well versus version 1.
Alright, now you're like
So
not on the
we'll have to
line,
see.
but you're like
Obviously,
just
you have
under
to
it.
go
So I
for the
guess you could be a
Sonics
little
'cause
bit more
they are the team
confident.
with
Just
the
make
experience
sure you
and
don't
the
get
LCS
overconfident,
experience,
because
but
that's
Team Frontline, it seems
definitely
like we
something
could get
to be
another match in the story
afraid
like
of.
we saw with Europe.
Make
Nobody
sure you
likes
guys
being
get your votes in
overconfident.
chat right now for the Verizon
Now to
fan
myself,
vote
if
with
I grind
hashtag
and
Sonics
improve, I
or
will be
hashtag Frontline. And
like I
let's
won't get
just,
clapped,
let's
but we'll
scrape
have
our
to
own
close
predictions while we're
match.
waiting
Yeah,
for
yeah,
chat
yeah.
to try to figure
That's
out
good.
what
That's
things
a good
happen.
mindset
And
to
Turtle,
have.
start me off here. Sonics or Frontline? Who's getting that qualification?
Like I try my
You know,
best to
had
not
I
to
seen
not
Sonics
to
drop
show
out
ego. Yeah,
against version 1, I
if
would
you're in Cal's
100%
community,
go the
that'll
opposite way.
happen
But
kind
this
of
one, since they
naturally,
won that matchup, and I'm feeling
which is good.
confident, I'm
That's
going
a good
Sonics all the
mindset
way.
to
I
have.
think these guys have what it takes. I'm
I
impressed with how they've been playing. They
rate
closed it out in that
that.
series
I rate
alone,
that, man.
which gives me confidence that against Frontline, against the underdog, it should be
Fisher.
clean. Maybe a 3-1, 3-2 would be pushing it.
What
but I think
series
it's
are
gonna be
left to
3-1
play,
for
by the
Sonics.
way?
So the one thing I thought was funny when the Sonics were playing version 1, it
So,
took till game 3,
NA
at the end of game 2, then
stage
Turtle made
2.
a prediction. So then he went with the Sonics
Hey,
after
what
they
the-
smacked him in round
Sonics
5-1.
I
So
wasn't
the
on the
Sonics,
desk. I can't
yeah,
make a
Versus
true, but you waited to
Frontline.
game 3, to be fair. So now he's got to make that call a little bit
Wait,
earlier. But
how did version
again,
1
Turtle, you have
get
to
knocked
go with
out?
the Sonics.
Oh,
And
they
if
lost
they
against
would've lost
PK.
to version 1, well, they wouldn't be here
Yikes.
anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I'm going to go the Sonics here. Team Frontline, obviously, we don't know too much about them. I want to see what they can bring.
I think Sonics will beat them 3-1.
With the experience for Sonics.
Kansas, in my opinion, are favorites against PK
I don't
here.
think you have to go with the experience because I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go with Frontline here. You said it
okay.
yourself. We haven't really seen much from them. Frontline, I mean, looking at the results, they're taking down Alpine, they're taking down the Knights, who are starting to step it up. I've been watching them over the grid the past few weeks, and they've been getting
And then
better and
Rogue will
better
win
too.
this
So
probably.
Frontline taking down teams like that means
Back from your
they
little
are
lurking
in the
session.
running
Hello.
right here, and I'm very curious.
Like
to
Sonics
see
will win this,
how
Kansas
chat,
will win this, and then
voted who
Rogue
they
will win
picked
this.
here. Oh, they're on your guys' side. Okay. I
Sonics,
feel like
Rogue,
I'm
and
roast
Kansas
here, but
to make the
your
next
energy, guys. Give me
stage.
your energy online on Twitter as well too. Let me know if you're with Frontline or if you're with Sonics. Who's getting the qualification? Hashtag RLCSX.
But I don't think I will watch that. I'm afraid. By the way, Matt, did you hear me talk about my Rocket League tournament I'm planning to host? Or were you not? Were you not there? Yeah, I did. Nice. Would you join it, Matt? Would you join the champ stage of my tournament? If I did organize it. It's half listening, fair. I would join it. Poggers. If there would be an uneven amount of players, of course, I would end up using double LM instead of the Swiss stage. Mm. Da, da. I think Plat is more fun than Diamond. Well, for you, it probably would be more fun. Mm. Ugh. I like Swiss. It gives, I feel like it gives everyone more of a chance. Bit more of a chance at least. Double limbs does as well, but I feel like not as much. If I bother to learn round 1, I could maybe do decently well. But I don't know what type of what type of ones players would enter. I mean, Matt, to be honest, so a player like you would probably, you could try to like grind ones, but for you, I think it's better to not care as much if you can. I know that's maybe hard to do, especially if you join a tournament. But like, you can always be like, I'm not a ones main, right? You can always think that. Like, they're gonna be Derp will probably be the favorite in the ones tournament because he's champ 3 in ones. That's like his most impressive rank. Like that's acres above his other ranks in terms of how impressive it is. It's Calcium turning my mind. Yeah, that's a good mindset to have. So 3s and 3s tournament will always be casual to me, to be honest. 2s and 1s, yeah, I thought so. It's good mindset to have. For me, I would get tilted at any tournament I join. I'd want to win against people that I think not be the favorites against me, or someone that's like the same as me. I'd get really triggered if I'd lost and whatnot. When I'm winning. No, I have that too sometimes when I have that too. Bang, bang. I want to actually see. Let me do some more tourney research, let's say. So I go to my account. I've called it the Proving Grounds, by the way. You like my name? Do you like my name? The Proving Grounds. Double a limb. Alright, let me reset this bracket. Let me reset the bracket. Here it is. Then wait. Wait. Fresh. And 3rd seed. All the way here. Up bank. Let's compare this. So Winters here. This is Swiss. But what does Mr. Winters, his last seed? What is his journey? First he plays against Rock, 4th seed. What happens in Double LM? Plays against the number 1 seed. Already a lot more fair. Okay, that's good. I haven't actually, because I didn't actually check this. So he absolutely, it puts up a fight. You know, goes to game 3 against Solid, but not quite. The other matches happen. Let's say Patrick wins this. Surti absolutely claps James, let's say that. Fresh claps Matrix. Bang. So Winters goes from facing the number 1 seed to facing the number 4 seed, or maybe number 5 here. In a double limb bracket, what would happen in Swiss is Winters faces number 4 seed first, and look at this, then face a number 6 seed. That's so much more fair. Like everyone has so much more of a chance to play, which I think is really nice. This is why I am trying to do the Swiss. How many matches is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, would this happen? Semifinals to finals. No, this wouldn't happen. This match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, there are literally numbers here. 12 matches would happen out of these ones, right? Or 13 actually. 13 would happen. So double limb takes longer. Because this is 10 matches. Longer, more unfair. This is like in every single way superior. This is slightly more unfair for the higher seeds. That is true, but I want to do this, giving everyone as much of a chance that I can. It's the whole reason why there is a gold stage, right? Otherwise, I would just put everyone in one huge bracket if I didn't want to make it fair. So yeah, I want to give everyone a chance. This is why I'm doing the Swiss stage. Oh, I. Of course, I would like to win, but even in threes tourneys, there's always a lesson to be learned from a loss. Of course, I just get absolutely tilted, and then it's out, I guess. Like when I went on a legendary ones winning streak, I was smashing every plat in ones, and then I got tilted because I remembered I was playing ones. Chinny X. Got tilted because you remembered you're playing ones. Honestly, mate. Let's look at my Rocket League tracker, mate. I'm so fucking happy that I got to Chap 1 in 41 games. So happy. Purely because I didn't want to play ones. Oh my god, dude. You don't even know. When I went on a 5-game winning streak, that session, by the way, I started off 4-game losing streak, right? I was like, oh fuck me, I'm gonna get stuck to like Diamond 2 or some shit. Because I was 1 game away from Champ 1, and I started my session on a fucking 4-game losing streak. It might have been 1.5 games away, I won't lie. So technically it would be 2. But I lost 4 in a row, then played 3 matches against Zerp, who's like Champ 3 in ones, Champ 2, Champ 3. Then started queuing ranked again, 1-5, and I think I gradually like got more. I might have like lost not very much MMR, like I lost against good players and then won against good players, I think, in that logic. I like catched up in MMR, because I think I was 1.5 games away from hitting C1 when I started, so I kinda caught up on that during my session. And then I got C1, which is kinda mad, because I started off thinking I would D-rank to Diamond 2, and then I ended up in C1, which is quite nice. Yeah, no, we've kind of looked at this now. We've debunked double limb. Debunked. It's fake. This is superior. I mean, I say there are 13 matches, but this does also have a playoff stage. So, yeah, this also has 13 matches. I didn't take this into account, but it's more fair. Same thing. It's better. It's better. I swear. Anyways, we can go back to the game. That's how I've been spending my time recently. Is literally just testing out brackets. Like you don't even know. I tested out uneven numbers in a Swiss bracket, in a 2-win fashion, in a 3-win fashion. Then I tried to see what would happen if I gave like people buys. I saw that giving buys in an unfair or an uneven amount, which is kind of with an uneven amount, and then also 3 wins, so you have to get 3 wins. It's literally impossible. Like literally, it's impossible. There would be so many unfair matchups, I think, from when I looked, anyways. And then giving buys in a 2-win is just like, it's so unfair. So I kinda tried my hardest to see if a Swiss bracket would work. Even if there wasn't uneven number, if there were uneven numbers, but sadly it was not possible. It was not possible to make it good. So if it's an uneven number of players, then it'll be double limb. If it's even, then Swiss bracket. Watch me do all this work and research on Swiss brackets, and then for every single stage to have an uneven number of fucking players. Watch that happen, and this is gonna be double limb brackets anyways. I would not be surprised if that was the case. Sex. I think I'm gonna end the stream. Not right now, but pretty soon. Back up. Matt, I've invited you. We're gonna play Rumble. Matt, what's your rank in Rumble? No, I think let's go. Because I don't want to really try hard in Rumble. I just want to kind of chill. Moon, you can join as well if you want. It literally closed the game as I invited. Yikes. I just want to like play 2-3 games, you know. Anyone else that wants to join? I'd rather not play at like Champ 3, MMR, and Rumble though, like Champ 2 tops. I don't want to have Rumble tryhards in my lobbies. As opponents, teammates I don't really mind. I think it's a no. So I'm Champ 1 Division 1, but I'm on the verge of losing it. I just wanna like chill on it. I don't really mind if I lose Champ 1 either, that's whatever. Just Rumble. It's down. Out. Raw, I missed my kickoff. Our rep our teammates was AFK, not anymore though. I save. No. Can't. I've used my power up. Oof. He's used the spikes. Fuck. Top 10 kickoffs of the week. I just double jumped. just used my fucking magnet on accident again. Go on, Memlem. Memlem. That's sad, that's sad. Sad. Yo, sorry, how you doing? I'm doing well. What up? That's sad, sad. Oh. Glad to hear you're good. Yeah, man. You're good? Nice. Poggers. I've tried to demo him, but I missed. That's sad, sad. Fake. It's not him. Fair enough. That's sad. How's Rocket League going, sir? Have you been playing recently? Any ranks, any ones, any twos, any threes? What we saying? Oh yeah, I have. I see. At 3 and 2s now, poggers. Let's go, 30. Lost D1. Oh, I thought you had D3 and 3s and not in 2s. Sorry, my bad. My bad, 30. My bad. Did I say D3? Diamond 1 or Diamond 2? I don't know what you were. Ah, no problem. What's your 3s then? Is that Diamond as well, or was as well? Let's go. D1 and 3s. Ah, fair. Fair enough. Trying my hardest. So it's popping off, mate. Hope you get D1 and 2s back soon. Fuck you, Matt. No, I'm joking. I wanted to bump you. Think you play fast, but your teammates can't keep up. Interesting. Sometimes that's the case, sometimes it is because you're playing too fast. Obviously I can't say because I wasn't in the match myself. Oh, he uses power up. I've been wanting to use it, but I just never locked onto it. It was irritating. I do not have boost. Yeah, everyone makes mistakes in the game, to be fair. Everyone's always got things to work on in the game, just how it is. I feel like he's missing. He also thought the same. I can demo him. Was hoping to block him. So have you been on the grind? Not that much, no. I won't lie. A couple days ago, I deranked to 1530, then solo queued back to 1600. But that was like 3 days ago. I haven't really played ranked since. No, not quite. Not quite. That was a bad save by me. Oh, I fucking didn't press my button. There we go. At least she's 1600. I mean, I guess. I just dislike MMR, but I dislike it even more because it affects me. It's like I know it doesn't really matter, but it still affects me, which annoys me even more. If that makes sense. It's something I don't want to care about, but I do care about. It's so irritating. I still took it. I wanted to jump over it. I get you, yeah. Blah. I'm trying to. Oh. Oh, so sorry. I'm not sure if I said or if you already knew this, but from the people that I assumed were gonna join my ones tournament, from in the gold stage, you have the highest MMR from all the people who are gold in the ones that I put on my list on who I thought would join. Fun fact. I did pitch you below Salted in the seeding though, purely because he won a show match against you. And I kind of wanted to use Kimo's show matches as a way to seed as well. Yeah, what's up, MBR? How you doing? Okay. Yeah. At least your second seed, right? Serti, I'll reword it. I put you so far up that you're second seed now. No, not second seed. That you're above fresh. I put you one seed above fresh and ones. Come on, that must be such an honor. Purely because there's like nothing to base freshest one skill off. So I just was like, I'll just put him third. It's an honor, thanks. Exactly, dude. Back from dinner, poggers. from dinner. Honestly, it's so weird to be like talk to American and you're like and the American says he's there back from dinner. When you're the guy from the EU, and it's like, why are you still awake? Right, I'll play one more. Maybe two. I'll see. Should I play one or two more? I'm not sure. I'll play one more. I'll play one more. One more. How many did we play? Did we play 2 or 3? I think we played 2. Shit. Yeah, 2. Okay, I'll play one more then. Die. And then I will be ending after that one. Still bothers me. I didn't get the reset. Mechanics are poor today. Goodbye. I'll end on this song because it's quite a funny song. Oh, this map. Holy moly.